Hi guys, Tom here. So I'm working on a motorcycle and doing my next upgrade, and I want to include you in on it and some of the thought process behind it. Now, this is the upgrade. Now, it doesn't look very impressive or anything, but I wasn't even sure what it was. So I've seen these on top of like muscle cars, on top of the carburetors, and I thought to myself, what is that and will it work for the motorcycle? Well, I was told it was called a velocity stack. And it's designed to kind of smooth out the airflow going into the carburetor so it can maximize as much air so that you can keep your fuel-air ratio up so that maximize your fuel going into the engine. Wow, that was a mouthful. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, so if you have a better explanation, please tell us in the comment section below. But this is how it was explained to me, and I got to go to a whiteboard because they used a drawing. I'm going to use a drawing. Alright guys, here's a whiteboard. Sorry for the lighting and the glare and everything, but real simple. So the inlet to the carburetor is basically straight. It's kind of like a pipe going in, and then of course you have your throttle body and everything. So air obviously wants to go into the carburetor because there's a vacuum being created by the engine. However, air's coming in all different angles, and as a result, when the air has to make these turns to get in, they tend to block and disrupt straight flowing air going in. And what happens is that a lot of turbulence is created and a lot of back pressure preventing the air from flowing in. Now where a velocity stack comes in, of course the inlet of the carburetor is the same, but with the addition it creates this little flare. So now of course air is still coming in at different angles, but you can see that it's not coming in at a 90-degree angle right here. Air is still coming in, you have some air coming in straight, and of course as the air comes in, it's more of a gradual redirection so that air coming in from the top and the sides doesn't bump into the ones that are coming in straight, so the airflow can try to maintain as even an airflow as possible with the least amount of resistance, so to maximize the airflow into the carburetor. The opportunity to maximize the fuel into the engine through the air-fuel ratio, resulting in more power. Alright guys, that's how it was explained to me. If you get a better explanation, please feel free to fill out the comment section. So let's look at how it gets on the carburetor. This is my stock Vader carburetor. It's a little bit different on the intake size. However, it's good for this example. So the velocity stack goes right on the intake. As I explained before, it kind of just smooths out the airflow around so that we get maximum amount of air and then of course maximum amount of fuel into the engine for more power. Now, when you look at this, you obviously look at it and go, hey, there's something wrong with this. Well, there is. There's no filtration. So these were the additional parts that came with the velocity stack. We have a screen, a filter, and then another screen. And it's going to be held in place by this rubber grommet. Now, it's not set up yet to go on a carburetor since I have to, oil the filter. However, I just wanted to talk about this real quick before I stick it on my motorcycle. Now, if you're curious at what the results are in the end, I'm going to post another video, so please check back, subscribe even. And if I did explain it right, please give me a like, okay, guys? Now, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Ride safe.